Hello, my name is Charles Lowe. I've known Saudi since we were 10th graders at Dunbar High School, where we played football together. Initially, when Saudi told me that he had written a book, I couldn't be more excited. I thought, finally, this is an opportunity for the world to see Saad the way that we see Saad. You see, for young men in DC growing up, Saudi has always been an example of how to live God first unapologetically. Like, Saudi has always been a light tower for us Christians that grew up in the church that were doing other things. He's always been that light tower for us ships to get back, right? He's always been that. So, like many of you, I pre-ordered my book on Amazon. I had a plan to dive right into the book. See, being an athlete that took a bunch of hits to the head back in the day, it takes me a lot to really dive through a text to the point where I feel comfortable talking about it, especially to the author of that writing, right? So that was my plan. God's plan was something different. God wanted me to live with this book. He wanted me to go out into the world and talk about this book. So I did. It was on my heart everywhere I went. So specifically at work, a lieutenant that's in charge of my study group, I was telling him how I'm trying to fulfill my obligations to the group and read this book. And I'm talking to him about the book. And at the end of that exchange, he was like, listen, do what you're supposed to do for this group, but don't stop reading that book. It's something in that book that's a part of your journey, right? So I did. A couple days later, I have a patient, first patient of the day, 30 years old. And this speaks specifically to chapter 9, right? Chapter 9, which happened to be my jersey number at Dunbar, where a life hidden in Christ is the title of the chapter. But at the end of the chapter, Saudi is praying to God, and he's just asking that he be a blessing to somebody, right? And this patient that I had was 30 years old, brain and breast cancer. It's not much you can do with that, right? But the exchange between me, this patient, and her mother was something I can only describe as God's love. Like he was in the room, right? Finally, the last chapter, 27, which happens to be 2 + 7 is 9. Again, my jersey number. Further, God let me know that this book was for me. Saul speaks about a father asking God to heal a son of an affliction that he's had since birth, right? And he's asking, God asks, do you believe I can do this? Man, this book, not one chapter, is something that I can say, okay, this is it. It's the whole book. It's the whole work. The title is perfect. It's the journey, growing in your journey. So thank you, brother, for writing this book. I thank God for using you as a vessel to get things to us. I thank you for always being that light tower in the distance for us ships coming home.